All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the feature. Claudio Viberti, I think, is fantastic. Try his wines at some point. Now, I'm going back to an old segment I did when we did the audio-only version, which was Take 5, which is where I would call somebody randomly on the phone and ask them 5 questions. Well, now that we're doing video, I think this is a perfect time to start Take 5 up again. And what better group of people to talk to right now than local restaurateurs? So today, I'm joined by Mike. You know, Mike, I'm going to ask you 6 questions. It's supposed to only be 5, but I feel like it's been way too long for me to ask you this. But how do you pronounce your last name?
Duganier. It was Duganiero when my grandfather came over from Italy, and they cut the O off his name. It went from Duganiero to Duganier.
I'm glad I asked. I would have said it completely wrong. So Mike Duganier from Publico. So very excited to have you here, Mike. I'm gonna look at you and talk to you. But welcome. Thanks for being on my podcast for Take 5, and let's get started.
Okay.
So, question number 1. Last meal on Earth. I want to know food and drink for the very last meal that you could pick that you will ever have in this world.
Okay. It would have to be my mother's sauce and some meatballs, maybe a little Italian sausage. I feel like I eat sushi a lot more. I love obviously all the food that we do here with our ramen and our tacos. If it was the last thing I was gonna eat, it'd be my mother's pasta and meatballs. Drink with that. I'm a big fan of Super Tuscans. So maybe a really big fat Super Tuscan. I'm not really quite sure which one, but that's where I'd go probably.
I love it. I'm not far off from that. You can't beat noodles and sauce. I haven't had your mom's, but yeah, they're delicious. That's right up my alley. All right, question number 2. I wonder if these numbers are going to show up backwards on my screen. I've never tried this. I might have to write them backwards. Question number 2, story time.
Okay.
Give me your funniest story from this restaurant.
Funniest story. There's probably a lot being put on the spot. I would say if anyone's been through a restaurant opening or just been in the restaurant business, but a restaurant opening can be pretty intense. And with everything that can go wrong during an opening, ours fell on Friday the 13th. So I thought it was kind of...
store open on Friday the 13th?
Yeah, it was November 13th, Friday the 13th, 2015, that after finally getting a chance to get open and running around to make sure we had the right permits and everything, and our staff was trained, and orders are coming in, and I'm getting pulled in 12 directions, it fell on Friday the 13th. And I kind of told the staff to embrace that and let's have fun with it. And so that was kind of a unique and funny story.
Oh, that's great. That's a very Publico kind of thing to do.
Yeah, right?
Friday the 13th, let's just go with it. Yeah. All right. Back in action.
Yep.
Question number 3. This is called Booze Clues.
Okay.
I'm going to give you some clues. I want you to give me the
Blues Clues. Blues Clues, yeah.
The place, the patio, out at Publico. The time, late afternoon, about now. The weather, upper 80s. What's the drink?
Man, typically for me, I get boring. I'll get a nice glass of like Sauv Blanc. But I would say, you have to, even though it's 80s, you're saying, I would still throw down a spicy Publico margarita. Our house ingredients, but it's basically a skinny for the most part. But I love heat in heat. I like the spiciness of the jalapenos being infused, and I love some sunshine. So I'd go Publico spicy margarita.
I don't doubt it a bit. That's great. That's a good one. Almost done.
And I'm not doing these wine answers because you're Mike the wine guy. I just, I do enjoy myself some vino here and there.
You got Super Tuscan in there. You said Sauv Blanc.
Sauv Blanc, yeah.
Question number 4.
Yeah.
This is I was yelling. This is a good one. Question number 4. Music 101. Now, I'm eliminating Frank Sinatra because I know
Why are you eliminating Frank?
Obvious answer.
Okay.
And nothing else was
Okay.
right. But eliminating him.
Francis.
That being said,
Okay.
of these 3 artists, who do you prefer?
Okay.
Taylor Swift,
Love me some T Swift.
Outcast,
Okay.
or Hootie and the Blowfish?
Man, that was the only three I get. No Dean
Well, they all
Martin.
have a connection to them.
I would go, and not just because we're here in Columbia, but I'd go with Darius and go with Hootie because I do love country as well, and he's done a great job with country music. I like all three honestly, but I'd go Hootie.
I was testing you because
I bought the Hootie album in 1995 when it came out, and I was 15 years old. So go ahead.
Well, because Hootie's Columbia, Outcast is Atlanta,
Yep.
Publico number 2, and then Taylor Swift is kind of Nashville, which I just know is near and dear to your heart.
Yes, it is.
So
Yeah,
there you
yeah,
go.
yeah. But
You
we'll
passed the test.
go Hootie. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Number 5, fifth and final question. Sticking the landing. So let's stick the landing. What makes Publico so special?
Okay, there's a lot of things, and I'm going to give you kind of two answers. One of them is ever since we opened, the employees, the Publico family, have been just a group of kids and young adults over the last 4.5 years, regardless of when they graduate and they move on, and a new crew comes in. They've always been really, really good people, good kids, good young adults. They care. They've made this place special. The community welcomed us 4.5 years ago after a staple had left. They could have easily not wanted to come once one of their favorite restaurants was gone, but they've welcomed us with open arms. We made a lot of great friends over the last 4.5 years in our community and our neighbors. But what makes this place really near and dear to my heart was in the last 22 years, I've moved around the U.S. like I think 19 different cities, and so I left home at 18. And so the fact that out of all these moves, when we started Publico, our first Publico was right here in Columbia, South Carolina. It brought me to South Carolina, and my parents had moved to Myrtle Beach from Buffalo, New York, and it was the first time in close to 20 years that I was within an hour-and-a-half drive. And when we started building and painting and doing demolition and whatever we were doing in this building to make it Publico, they would come to town on an easy hour-and-a-half drive, and they were a part of that summer with me and my business partner putting Publico together. And I got to spend quality time for the first time in 20 years, more than just Christmas. Once a year. It was every other week they were coming to town, and they were getting dirty, and they were building tables, painting the walls, cleaning, you name it. And that is what makes this restaurant special to me. Yeah.
I love that. Well, if you have never been to Publico, we're in 5 Points, right in the center of 5 Points here. Please come out, check it out. Amazing patio, has been very well. You guys, what you turned that parking lot into is crazy out there. The food is great. It's all over the place, and obviously the wine is great and the food's great. So coming out, I'll tag them in this post so you can see it. Otherwise, thanks so much.
Thanks so much. Always fun talking with you.
The same.